Okay, we're live. It's James Madhu speaking. Got another session for you today. What I want to talk about is obviously AI stuff, but I think there's something that a lot of people are missing with all of the AI news that we run into on a regular basis. Like, just give you an example of my YouTube feed here: AI this, AI that, build an AI business, build an app, build AI content, all sorts of news about it. It's coming really quickly, and I think we all have to make some kind of decision in the next little while if we're building and starting or growing an education business. How are we going to fit all of this AI stuff into it? Where does it actually fit in? And again, I've seen this two times before in this space. And the first thing was the whole kind of rush to PDF and ebooks at the time. If you've been around in the early 2000s in the digital marketing space, it was all about ebooks. You created as many ebooks as you possibly could at the start. You could sell them for a lot of money quickly because it was content in a way that was easily deliverable in a format that people like consuming. And then, in the mid 2010s and on, it was all about courses, and to some extent, it's still kind of about courses. So these, 5 to 10 year cycles in internet time, early adopters, late adopters, that whole kind of curve of people adopting all of this technology. The thing that's been thrown on its head, of course, is that the AI stuff is getting created daily and it's really hard to keep up with it. So we're in a situation where it is the next big thing that's coming. You have to take advantage of it, but the real question becomes, how do you take advantage of it if you are selling information or digital products and services, and where does it fit into an education business? So I was doing some thinking about that. I put the bit together kind of a little map of where it fits in and why I think a personally branded campus is the way to harness AI, but still be able to grow a long-term business. If you are just interested in getting rich, there's a ton of different ways on doing it on AI. It's that early adopter gold rush. If you want to build kind of micro SaaS, as they're called, like specific done for you pieces of familiar tasks, just get them done for you with AI. There's lots of people doing that. And in fact, you can probably pick it up pretty quickly with this thing called vibe coding, which allows you to basically talk to an AI tool and it spits out an application for you. And you can earn money with that. That's fine, but it's not an education business, and it is only a piece of what I think we need to do if we want to look at this in the long term. So I'm going to go over this kind of spot for you. If you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the channel. And of course, I'd love for you to join trainingsites.io/join if you haven't already. That's my personally branded campus where I help people to start, build, and grow their education business. So, this is kind of where we're at. We're got this opportunity. There's lots of stuff going on with the AI space, but where do we fit in, and where does an education business fit in? So here's kind of the thing that I'm going to take a look at. I did my trusty XMind mind map, just going over my notes here and doing it. And I'm going to give you a full definition of what a personally branded campus is my idea with it. Sometimes I call it an AI learning community, or a personally branded campus, or an AI powered personally branded campus. I'm not saying don't worry about AI, but I think there's a real important spot for it and where it fits in for our particular business. So the thing that, for me, when I look at it right now, the thing that's, kind of big is that we're in a content storm right now, and it's even going to get worse. If I take a look, and I'm sure if you take a look right now, the ability to create content has been, the playing field is level now. Anyone with any access to an AI tool can, or platform, can create all sorts of great content, and it doesn't matter what niche you're in. So that content value is something that is changing quickly, and that's changed in the last year. Not 5 to 10 years, but in the last year. Okay. Um, the part and the problem with this, of course, is that with all of this content falling on us, it's really, really hard to find out which content is accurate or authentic and which is not. Um, every time that you use a tool like ChatGPT or Claude and you give it a prompt, you get a different answer kind of formatted in the same way. And it's your skill as formatters or prompt generators or prompt engineers to try and get consistent ways to present your information every time that you use it. So there's a challenge to that. And what happens is that if people keep on seeing all sorts of content that's similar but a little bit different, it's like, whose content is it? Is it just AI generated content, or is it something that actually was created? And that ends up to the point where it's the question of the value of the human created educational content. So if you're just consuming content and any of those traditional things like you're talking about, like an ebook or a course, what value do you as the content creator have against the content being created by AI? So that content storm is coming. It's coming quickly, and it's not as if you can just put up an umbrella and hope that it goes away or ride the storm out, because the storm is not ending. This one is coming quickly, and you have no choice to either go through it or adapt to it. There's some missing elements there, and I think the important ones for us to kind of think of are the ones that, AI can create the content, but there's things that it can't do really well. And that is, it can't replace the trust in a real person. There is something unique about communicating with someone one on one in that, or one to a small group, that ability to interact live in real time with someone that isn't a chat bot that you're typing to, or a mechanical voice that's trying really hard to sound like a real person. The other thing is in as much as it can create contact, it cannot replace shared experiences of interacting with each other. Not at this point, anyway, that I'm aware of. I'm sure they're probably trying to work on it, but right now it can't create that. So it creates a content, but it can't create the trust of a real person. It can't create the learned experience of moving forward with and communicating someone else. And it can't recreate the community of all of that interaction and that archive of that interaction. So those are the things that it can't do right now. And as much as it can create content and it's great at that, and it can replace us doing specific tasks, that missing element still is its inability to do those kind of things. So, my idea here is that what's really happening for us is that we need to have an AI powered personal campus. And these are the things that allow us to be, as an individual or a small business, be able to stand out that's different than just the content. Competing on content isn't going to cut it. It's going to get harder and harder daily now to be able to do that, because of that content storm and because of this missing element of having us involved. So what's the scoop here? What's the big difference here? There's a 5 C's that I kind of, think you should pay attention to doing this. The first one is your ability to curate. So you have the ability to filter that content for the people that you're trying to teach. If someone is there and they're all being swarmed by all of this heavy amounts of content, it's like, how do they know which ones to pick and where they fit? It's your job as a curator of the content that's appropriate to the outcome that you're promising. That's the big C there. You got to be able to get really good at curating and filtering the content that is appropriate to the people that you're trying to serve, so they don't have to do it. And then the other thing is, you make sure that your context, if you've done any prompts on ChatGPT or any of the tools, and I've got a whole bunch of them in the trainingsites.io campus. I've got hundreds, if not thousands, of different prompts to use. And the big challenge with all of these prompts is adding context. And that's allowing you to put the AI tool in a situation or a unique situation. That's the thing that's actually happening here. When you need to be able to have context, you need to be able to explain why certain approaches work in certain situations. Every person's situation is unique. You have an experience in a lot of them, and it comes with age and all of the things that you've done in your past career or your past passion. But your ability to identify and go, oh, this one fits here, or if you're in this situation, these are the 3 approaches you should consider, as opposed to, if you find yourself in this situation, go do a search on ChatGPT and get 17 billion variations. So your ability to provide context to the people with your curated or filtered content, super, super important. And again, the community part. AI is great for personalized content, and there's no taking away from that. But the ability to share or compare content curated and in context with other people, AI can't do that. It just can't do that right now. And a personally branded campus allows you to provide that for people who have a shared or similar interest in a similar outcome. So students connect with each other, not the content. It's not about the content necessarily, it's about how it was applied or implemented. And the other thing for us is if you're a coach, you're a speaker, an expert, someone who's really trying to share what it is they already know, love, and do, that personal experience that you can share with people in the community with the context and your filtered curation of it, you become someone that can be trusted and validates the content because you've lived it and or you've done it. And if you haven't, you can share going through it with the other people in the community. But you have a whole bunch of credibility if you do have that experience. And why? That's why you're, everyone who's got a little bit of, kind of rubber on the road, they've been around for a little while. That's why you have so much opportunity in this space to be able to tailor all of the content that's coming and use these things because you have credibility of having applied that content to real people. And then care. Sorry, do you have a genuine support for people? I talk to a lot of people on a regular basis that are kind of in this online or digital marketing space. And the one thing that keeps on coming up more often than not is I don't want to be that aggressive, really hardcore, in your face kind of marketer. I'm really excited about what I do and I want to share it, but I want to earn some money from it without having to be mean to people or uh, not disloyal, but kind of stretching the limits of how much I actually am involved with people. So that genuine support for people, again, can happen with an automatic bot or some kind of content that gets created on the fly for someone. It's just not there. So you got those 5 C's. You're probably looking at it and going, okay, what's the next scoop here? Well, you need to have some kind of practical structure to be able to deliver that. And I think, the thing with that privately branded campus, and it's the thing that I'm trying to help you start, build, and grow your education business with, has some pretty consistent structures. And it's called sometimes a community. I prefer to call it a campus, and I'll explain why here. But they all have something in similar. If you call it a membership site or a community site, at the end of the day, you're going to have the ability to have some live question and answer on a regular basis with the people in your community. This is something that we do every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. We have a live Q&A on YouTube where you can get in and ask questions. Again, it's a live session. It's not some kind of presentation or pitch. It's just, hey, I'm running into this situation, or what do you think of this? Or can you help me with that? Or I tried this. What do you think else I should try? Or does anyone else have any suggestions? So any kind of practical structure with a kind of campus community membership, you want to have the ability for live Q&A. Any kind of groups or spaces. Should probably put forums in here. Let me do this right now. There we go. Forums. Get my keyboard live here. This is one of the things that I really like with using live tools. If I find a spelling error, I can actually go and fix it. But forums, groups, and spaces, this is similar to what you probably found on a Facebook group, but it's that live feed and live interaction. I think personally you should have your own forum or space or group on your own personally branded campus or platform and not use different ones in different spaces. But you need to have that where people can get some questions, share some wins, celebrate problems, all of the things that are available there, and then some showcases. You want to be able to give in your community a place where people can say, hey, look at this, I did this. What do you think? Kind of share again what it is that they've won, what they're doing, and be able to have some feedback from real people that maybe aren't their customers yet or could be, to get that second look at things that you think are going to sell well, or maybe need some help, or maybe other people can learn from them. The one again and again with these, the structure of these personally branded canvases is this whole idea of an evolving curriculum. And this is a big problem that I don't think a lot of people recognize, especially when you're looking in the course space. When again, when I first started out, you could do a course and that course content may be valid for 1 year, year and a half. Right now in the AI space, the minute that you hit publish on a course, it, for all intents and purposes, is outdated. Why? Because something new happens every day, and there's 100,000 different ways of explaining what you explained in a static piece of content. So any campus that you build, any community that you build, any membership site area, it has to have the ability to follow what the experiences are of the people that you're trying to help. And static courses just can't do that anymore. And then, the things that you covered, if I take a look, like I have 40 or 50 courses that I've actually done that I still have actually on the trainingsites.io site. They're actually in behind on another platform. I've got them hidden right now, but I got 40 or 50 different courses there. And, some of them have value, but some of them, the content has to change a little bit. I'll give you an example. I sold a book called, I sold a PDF and then a course called Get Ranked First on Google. I did that for a number of years, and Google doesn't stay stagnant, doesn't just stop doing it. Email marketing doesn't just stay stagnant. Social media doesn't stay stagnant. There's always stuff that changes. So your approach has to change based on the environment that we're actually dealing with. So that ability to have a curriculum or content that is being taught in your process or package has to be flexible enough to roll with the punches and understand what's working now and what isn't working anymore. So that curriculum has to be able, again, to be about strategies, and the application is the piece that allows you to change that strategy over time. And personalized feedback, and as much as everyone love to have just kind of a, here's my custom GPT, here's my app, go use it, get the content, that personalized feedback is something that has to be available if you're going to have some kind of education business where you've got that shared space, a campus, and a community. Live events. This is the one I've been harping on the whole time. The one I'm building my entire business on is back to what we did before the internet. And lo and behold, that was all about what it was all about, doing live events and live classes. So, for me personally, the trainingsites.io one, we have live classes. We actually have daily 15-minute check-ins for all of our paid members. We have one anywhere from 60 to 90-minute workshop where we actually do something each week, whether it's build a campus or build out content or build out marketing material. Those things are all kind of live actual training workshops where we actually work on stuff, not do it. So, this kind of live interaction with people, whether it be the live question and answers on YouTube or the actual Zoom workshops that we do, again, these are cool things that are important now as we come back to this whole space of, being involved with people in real life. Challenges, gamification, structured outcomes, and education. And I was talking about practical structure, and here's where I kind of fit in this whole space between a community and a campus. And I'm going to talk about, why I think AI is obviously a big part of this, but the difference in my view between a community and a campus is that the campus is focused on a structured outcome, and it heavily invests in education. If I think of a community and I go to Facebook, for example, or a social media platform where there's a private group, that is about sharing and stuff that goes on. There is not, for the most case, again, I'm generalizing, but there's not a set structure, or if you do this, you will get that. So, for me in my business, trainingsites.io, it's like, how do you use and leverage AI to start, build, and grow an education business? So whether that's doing the things in my 10-step campus map, whether it's the research, whether it's structuring your business, whether it's building your campus and your content, or growing and marketing your business, everything falls into those pieces, but it's the community and the education. That's why I call it a campus. And again, there's no wrong or right, but just understand, am I using it, AI, to leverage the content that I can create in a community, or am I doing it in a community with structured education? Gamification and challenges, we'll cover that in some other videos. Again, really, really important pieces when you're playing around with trying to organize your business on who you're helping, what kind of help that they actually need. And this positioning is the next kind of piece that I think, for me personally, this is why I'm building a campus, is because if you're an expert in something, or you want to teach something, or you have an education business, that your business is something that needs to be branded, you have to position yourself or position your small business in some kind of place. And I'm really, really excited because we have a situation now where we can use AI tools to enhance our personal brand, not necessarily replace it. And again, think of it as that AI digital assistant that works 24 hours a day, that can do a whole bunch of things for you in an automated fashion so that you don't have to do them. And that means allowing yourself to be involved with people personally in as much as you want. I'm not saying it has to be one on one, but you can structure your business to be involved with people in a way that is comfortable for you in terms of getting the outcome delivered to them, but also representing the amount of time, energy, and effort you want to put personally into helping all of these people. So take a look and say, I'm going to position myself so I can take advantage of AI, but I want to enhance what I'm doing, not replace myself. And again, if you want to do a get rich quick or do something like sell an ebook forever, that's when we go back and you take a look at all of those things that are available with AI right now. When it's like start an AI agency, start an AI business, start a micro SaaS or a small business piece of software about a particular task. So again, two birds, just understand which one you're going to hit with what stone. Learn to use the tools where expertise, and I spelt this incorrectly. So actually, one of the things that I think, hopefully, is it S or Z? I'm not sure. I'll have to check after. I apologize if there's a spelling error on this one. I use Xmind and they don't come up all the time. I did get in trouble with a couple of the viewers that said, hey, those spelling errors are bug me. And I said, well, I'll try my best to actually stop them. I think expertise is spelled here. I don't know if there's a Z or Z, depending on what country you're in. So there we go. So I think learn when to use tools and where expertise matters more. Then, this is kind of another cool question, is when you're thinking about all of the AI tools, there's an AI tool for this. I think there was, last time I looked, last week when I was mentioning it, there was 36 or 37,000 different AI tools. I think I did a search this morning. There was something like 4 or 5,000 different kind of AI apps coming out every day now. So this stuff is getting slammed, but you have to kind of figure out, when should I be using an AI tool and for what purpose? And then where do I need to be involved to take advantage of what I bring to the table and what AI brings to the table? So, understanding that those two pieces, I think, is going to be even more important in your campus. And then build the skills that work with AI rather than being replaced by it. If you're going to build an app and you want to position yourself, I suggest that you learn how to do things that you don't want to do, because it takes up your time, energy, and effort and allows you to have more time doing what you do want to do, that you enjoy and that generates income for you. So again, position yourself with those things in mind. And will this change? Yeah, but at the end of the day, leverage AI, use AI. Content Storm's coming. Don't have the umbrella up, just opening. You still have to make sure that you're using it. Use it as much as you can. Use it for creating content that you can, but position yourself in the right space to be able to monetize that. And at the end of the day, what you're going to end up with is what I call a personally branded campus. And let's just take a look at that. First thing, and again, I just took some notes on this, and we'll do some more videos on how to actually create one, but I just want to make sure that if this makes sense to you and you're thinking, okay, I don't want to just make content, I want to be able to actually build a business with this, think of terms of having your own personally branded campus, something that you own that represents you or your small business or a group of people, obviously. I always talk about, the personal branded campus. That personal can be one or a couple people that is in it together. It can also be your small business. It doesn't have to be just one person. But even if it is a small business and you have a community of customers or a community of vendors or resellers, sharing that shared space with education is something that is very important. So authentic voice drives all content and communication, so students recognize your writing style, speaking patterns, and unique expressions. This is something, again, that AI can't replace, but in a privately branded campus, it's not the big noise of everyone's content. It's easily identifiable as being yours. It's your voice, your content, your observations, your speaking patterns, your expressions, all the things that we're doing right now. Again, you can't replace that with AI. I've got 400 videos right now on YouTube. If you watch one or two of them, you'll see that it's exactly the same of the ones that I did this year, last year, whatever time. It's always consistent so that there is a focus on the way that you and or I deliver things on a regular basis. And either people will go, yeah, I'm into that, or I can't stand the way that he or she does that, so I'm not going to listen to them. It's anyone's choice on where that fits in. I think, personally branded campus, it allows you to have your process, your unique view on things, a teaching philosophy, or a framework that you use that you can weave through all of the content that gets structured and or presented. There's a whole bunch of different learning styles or teaching styles. I think everyone has their own, and if you can be consistent with that, it's easily for people to recognize and or use and apply or implement in their situation. And again, you obviously can be flexible on which way that you do that, but most people are pretty consistent that they teach the way that they like to learn. And if you're a great teacher, you can blend in all of those things to make sure that the people that you're helping understand in a way that allows them to actually do what they need to do. And then, specific expertise in an area becomes signature and the students associate it with you. I've been doing AI and courses and campuses for the past year. That's where I focus on. If someone sees my channel now, they'll know I'm talking about AI. They'll know I'm talking about online campuses, and they know I'm talking about online courses. So that area or the focus on a topic of education and courses and AI, that's something that is always in a community. If I go directly to YouTube, there's 7 billion different topics that are there. If someone comes to trainingsites.io, it's about starting, building, and growing an education business. My campus, my voice, my expertise, your voice, your campus, your expertise, your business's voice, your business's campus, your business's expertise, it's all there. And then the visual identity as well, right? If you look at some of the thumbnails that I do, the colors, the fonts, I try and do things consistently, because if someone sees one and they repeatedly see another one from my brand, they're going to identify with them and recognize that, hey, it's another one from trainingsites.io, or I want to teach online, or it's James. Those are the things that are there. And again, it's all of the touch points. One of the things I've got kind of set up on my business right now, and here's a good example of where to use AI, is that if I post something on YouTube, it automatically creates a post on my WordPress site in the tutorials. So I take a video, have it automatically turned into a tutorial, and I use an AI tool to take the transcription, rewrite it with key points and summaries, take the YouTube video, post it on my WordPress site and my personally branded campus. And I also have my personally branded campus have a social media tool that automatically posts it to LinkedIn and Facebook and a couple other social media ones. But that consistent style of the content on YouTube, the content on my website, and the content on social media, it's identical. And it's all from the same place, my personally branded campus. So, if you're thinking about this kind of stuff and you're going, I want to build a business, I want to have AI involved in it, but I still want to have myself in it, having a personally branded campus or that space for you to share your expertise and monetize it by being involved with people, this is a huge opportunity for you because we now have the ability to have a whole bunch of digital assistants do all of the things that maybe you didn't like in the past, whether that be out doing outbound calls or posting to social media or coming up with new ways to do a social media post or write new blog posts. It's there. What isn't there is you. And having a place, your own private place, I think is a really cool opportunity. If you want to find out more about this, I'd love for you to go to trainingsites.io/join. I know this one was a little bit long. I'll make all of these available in trainingsites.io/join. I have all of my prompts, all the content that I create. We have Wednesday, we have live classes at 1 o'clock on YouTube. And every week we have sessions in the morning, quick sessions, and we also have another anywhere from 60 to 90-minute training session for our paid members. So like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow with another great video. And I always say back tomorrow, another great video, but usually I do one or two a day. So sometimes I might be back later today with another great video to help you start, build, and grow your education business. Take care. Expect the best.